The Magnus Classic continues to be my absolute favourite strongman competition of the entire year. It reminds me why we love strongman, going back to its roots of extreme conditions, super cool looking events, lifting rocks, going in swimming pools, all of that jazz. It is absolutely fantastic to watch. And if you haven't watched it already, I highly recommend you go on Official Strongman, go back and re-watch this competition because the visuals and how rough, raw, and just rugged this competition is absolutely fantastic. All of it just felt really fun, really good, and just reminds me of all the competitions that I get to do where you just go and hang out with the boys out in the cold, in the rain, or in a barn or something like that, and you just lift some weird, heavy stuff. And that's why we love this sport. That's why we do this sport. And the Magnus Classic continues to bring that to the main stage. My name is Toby. This is, of course, the Toby Lively channel. Here we talk all things pro strongman and also do my strongman training. And in this video, we are going to be going into all of my thoughts about the Magnus Classic. I managed to watch, I think, about 6 out of the 8 events live. I managed to catch up on the final 2 as well. It was a really exciting and fun competition. I love this competition for seeing some of the new up and coming names go against some of the best in the world and earn their spot on the pro scene, because these guys are beasts. To be able to go out and compete in those conditions on some very, very tough events is incredibly impressive. And after doing well at the Magnus Classic, well, being in an arena is going to be nice and comfy compared to those Icelandic conditions. It is absolutely freezing in this garage right now, but it's got nothing on those conditions. So I will stop complaining about it. If you're new here, go down below, like the video, click subscribe to the channel, but let's talk about the Magnus Classic. So first things first, the events. I thought all of the events looked really cool and were really fair and well balanced. We have, of course, our staple Magnus Classic events with stuff like the Husafell carry, the stone over bar medley, the hoist, the deadlift, obviously the log press as well. Pretty staple Magnus Classic events, but we had some fun and interesting ones as well with stuff like the swimming pool loading medley, which I absolutely loved. Obviously the aluminum block press looked really, really cool as well. And I know I've just pissed off all the British by saying aluminum. Obviously it's the aluminium block press. I just wanted to see if I caught any of you out and whether you'd comment on that or not. But yeah, a really solid set of events, and even events that we usually see at many competitions like the deadlift, like the log press. Magnus uses these really cool bits of kit that just look fantastic. I mean, those logs that he has are just absolutely beautiful, and that deadlift with the big sort of red rugged globes and a very rough bar looks so rustic, so cool. Even though it is a bit of a lighter deadlift, it looks hard, it looks horrible, and it looks super fun. It's just got a really cool aesthetic, the Magnus Classic, and I think everyone who is a true hardcore strongman fan has this show as one of, if not their favorite show of the year, just because the aesthetic of the lifting rough, rugged rocks, bits of metal, you know, it doesn't look pristine, it doesn't look perfect. It's what strongman should be. The commentary was a perfect blend of not so serious, but also a good play-by-play. Obviously, we had Colin Bryce and Big Loz on commentary there. Colin going off on his famous Colin tangents and Loz trying to rein him back in and do a bit of a play-by-play. It was very, very entertaining. And of course, having them commentate from a hot tub while the swimming pool loading medley was going on was a perfect added touch. It made that event super fun and super exciting. I know a lot of people were going in thinking it was a bit of a stupid event, but I absolutely love it. It looked suitably challenging. It didn't look too easy. It didn't look too hard. And it just looked like good fun. And I think that goes for most of the events at the Magnus Classic. They all look like good, solid, fun events while still being very challenging and very exciting to watch. And we did have an incredibly strong lineup. Of course, we had the names of people like Lucas Hatton in there. We had Maxime Boudreau in there. We had some more new up-and-coming names like Levi Strong. Jordan Osborne's been in and out of the circuit, and these guys are looking good, and it's really good to see how they stack up against some of the best in the world. Those athletes that really impressed me this time around, obviously Levi Strong, looking, well, strong as his name suggests, looking really, really solid and winning the competition. Jordan Osborne having a really, really good performance. Another fantastic athlete out of Australia. Really hope we get to see him back at some like Giants Lives or other shows like that. Nick Wortham as well was just a point off the podium in the end, just a point behind Lucas Hatton. This man, again, is the real deal. Another really good up-and-coming American just about to break onto the scene. And a lot of the guys at this competition were showing really, really good, solid performances. On most events, we had different guys mixing in the points, and that's what made it so close and so exciting towards the end. I mean, Lucas Hatton got dead last on the hoist, but he still managed to cling on to third just because the points were chopping and changing so much. And that is the beauty about having a competition with 8 very, very different events and a very diverse lineup as well, because you get some people who absolutely blitz like the hoist with Lucas Hatton in last, but we've got Lucas winning those static events. We've got a max distance carry with the Husafell. We've got some natural stone lifting. We've got a swimming pool loading medley. Like, it's such a diverse set of events which aren't too disgustingly challenging that you're absolutely killed off by the end of the competition, but they have a unique challenge in that they are very awkward, very rugged, very rough. The conditions make it difficult, and you've got to learn these events. And you can tell because the athletes who are most used to the competition, who are like some of the Icelandics, Maxime Boudreau, in certain events, they had some really, really good advantages, knowing how to lift certain stones, knowing how to grip the rope properly, and some of the newer athletes struggled on a couple of those staple events. And one performance I've got to shout out is Maxime's bag toss was just absolutely fantastic. Seeing Maxime on a throw is always a pleasure. He absolutely smoked that event. But across the board, so many of the different guys had so many different performances that were really solid. One thing I will say is the overall performance on the Husafell stone was massively up from last year, and I'm not sure how much the conditions had to play with that, but also just general practice. The lineup seemed very strong at that, where we had a few people struggle to even take off with the Husafell last year. These guys, all of them did a very, very solid, respectable distance, and it was a fantastic event to kick the show off. Another thing the Magnus Classic does fantastically is make use of the surroundings. It travels around Iceland, going to these really cool locations. Obviously, the bigger valley where the Husafell sheep pen is, but also that incredibly amazing cathedral where they finished off at. It's got a really diverse set of locations, and that's what makes the Magnus so visually appealing. It's like what World's Strongest Man used to do, traveling around different locations with really cool backdrops, whereas now they've been very stagnant in very similar scenarios in America, for example. Like, the Magnus Classic brings Strongman back to its roots, which is what I love so much about it and what so many people love so much about it. And I know there's been a lot of talk recently about standardizing Strongman. Should it be tested? Should it be a decathlon? Should it have a standard set of events? And I think the Magnus Classic completely proves why that is the wrong approach for Strongman. Strongman should be rough. It should be rugged. It should be visually exciting. It should be cool. It shouldn't always be in an arena with the same 10 events. It should be out in the wilderness, lifting some rocks, lifting whatever random bits of metal we can find. And I think the Magnus Classic proves that year on year, because it is getting bigger and bigger and more people are watching it. And if you want to support the sport of Strongman, you've got to support these competitions that are a step down from Giants Live and the Big Four. But the Magnus Classic, it is that feeding system that has some really, really good, talented, up-and-coming guys come through a really different and exciting and visually appealing show. And the more we can support it, the bigger this sport comes. It's one of those competitions that one day it's on my dream to go out and watch in person, explore Iceland, go and watch this competition. If I had the means to do it this year, I absolutely would have done. Hopefully next year we might be able to book it in, but we will see. But it is, again, it's my favourite competition of the year. It is a perfect time where the Big Four are out the way, all the Giants' lives are done. It is that final fun competition to end the year, obviously apart from OSG, but it's that one competition that some of the big guys do as their sort of final warm-down show of the year. A lot of the up-and-coming guys are doing it to prove and get their stamp ready for the next competitive season. It's just really cool, and it fills that lull after Rogue Invitational and before OSG where we don't have much going on. It's a perfect end to the year, and obviously as it builds into the winter, builds into Christmas, the vibes of the Magnus Classic always fits the time of year perfectly. And honestly, I don't really have too much negative to say about the Magnus Classic. Like, there were some times where the camera angles went a bit funny on the Husafell, but you're trying to do a live stream from a sheep pen in the middle of rural Iceland. They do a fantastic job. It's brilliant. They do a really good job of showing the scores, having good commentary, showing the action. It's one of the better live streams that you watch in Strongman, to be honest. It's very raw, very rugged. There aren't too many like super good visuals or anything like that, but you don't really need that. Like, I was really impressed. I really, really enjoyed it. I do so every year, and I made a video like this last year gushing about how much I enjoyed it. I thought the event selection was fantastic. I don't think it could be much better. I'd love to see some more fun, quirky events next year, obviously with our staples like the Husafell and the Hoist and things like that. But, there are so many different ideas buzzing around in my head of different events that we could see at a competition like this. And I know Magnus, Monica, everyone else organizing it has plenty of fantastic ideas. And you can really see that this is a show curated by people who really love Strongman and really love the sport, right from its roots all the way up to the modern day. It's just fantastic. You can really see with the lineup they picked, they're tuned in to which athletes are just on that brink and which ones are, in the top league, ready to perform up against some of these up and coming guys. It's a perfect mix of athletes at this sort of show. It's a great level. It's really good fun, and I could go on about it for hours just about how good it is and how much I enjoy it. But I won't do that. I will keep this video short because that is all my thoughts. I'm not going to do like a full recap, play-by-play of the competition. If you want to see that, just go and watch it. But I will give my thoughts, tell you how good it is, and champion you guys going on Official Strongman and watching that competition. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments section. I'm sure lots of you have very similar opinions to me when it comes to this competition. And if you're new here, go ahead, click like on the video and subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next video.